Hey everyone, thank you very much for your support, and finally some of you have your rats already. I just got my shipment here in Australia this week. I had a few delays with obviously the manufacturing, plus I got really sick last week and actually was hospitalised with pneumonia, probably the stress of it all. So I'll show you the rat. Here it is. So as you can see, I have built a board that's going to last for 100 years, I reckon, or more. Incredibly solid. I'm useless. I can't make things weak. There's no built-in obsolescence in this board whatsoever. So yeah, basically, like any board, you'll need to tune it to your preferred way. Obviously, tuning your front trucks with a tension. Sorry I haven't provided a tool this time, trying to cut costs, but get yourself a skate tool and you can do the tensions on the trucks as like any normal trucks, even on the rear. As you can see, the badge looks good, but it's not very secure. Comes off pretty easily because we've got the grip tape underneath it. You know, these are things that happen in manufacturing, so the next run they'll be a bit more secure. Basically, there are lots of points for tuning the brakes. Now the brakes are designed to be very gentle, not so you don't throw yourself off, but there are ways to increase the power and there are ways to reduce the power depending on how you want to ride. Some very quick ways. I've got to grab a tool, one sec. So the tension on this nut can affect the amount of force required to press the brake. If it's tight, it's harder to push down. So just like a truck tension. So if you loosen it off, but not too loose, will give you the maximum movement. That's probably a bit loose because you'll hear it rattle, but that's full free movement. But if you tighten it up, it will really restrict how much you can push that. So you can restrict how much brake you have just by adjusting that nut. Right, the boards have been sent out with about a millimetre gap between the lining and the rotors. That's as far out as they will function. Any further out, you will get very minimal braking. You can increase the brake power by getting them as close as you possibly can, like to 0.2 of a mil. That will increase the power. Now to adjust that is actually not that simple. I've got one apart here already. So the trucks have a very solid axle. You're not going to bend or break this thing. And unlike my previous brakes, the adjustment is on this thread, and it's how far you thread in the axle adjusts the distance between the brake lining, let's get crap on it, and the brake rotor. Now these have been Loctited in place, so they're set now, but if you wanted to tune them tighter, you have to loosen the Loctite. Now you can't just, it's supposed to be wrench undoable, but I've tried and it's actually a little stronger than that. You'll probably damage it, so you need to loosen the glue. Unfortunately, that requires one of these beauties. You've got to heat it up to loosen the glue. It's important that there's glue there, because if there's no glue there, they'll loosen. You don't want that. So look, I'm going to do a proper video of how to do that. It is a little bit more hassle than the earlier design, but it's a far stronger design and it's actually cheaper to make as well. So but anyway, as you know, the wishbone leverage pushes out the rotors. It requires quite a bit of force. It requires your body weight to push. It only moves 2 millimeters at the maximum. That's why the distance between the lining and the rotor is really fine, and it's critical when tuning, but it's fairly easy to do. So that's basically it. That's how the brakes work. Just a lever here and the rotor on the axle with a spring. So there you go. What else? Oh, I forgot one more thing. If you got like hills that are 25% gradient, and that's your local hill, and you want to bomb it, but cruise it daily, extension pedal, you'll see there's 2 threaded holes in the pedal. That's for this beauty. This thing is like an on-off switch. It will takes a while to get used to. It's a very powerful braking. It actually multiplies the power by 2.5. Yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted, but if you get more skilled at the brake and you're used to it, you can try the extension pedal for those really, really steep descents. Anyway, I think that's about all I need to say. Just thank you heaps for your support. I think this board's going to be a real success for me at Breakboard. We try to make them as cheap as possible, but if that's the right term. We try to make a lower price board. That's why we've gone for the plastic, to try and get a broader sales. But I think I've made the perfect size and shape board. It's suitable from some of my height. This is 6'3" to a kid. So yeah, I hope you really enjoy them. I hope that you can spread the word to help me out. Yeah, enjoy your rats. They come with full warranty, so if you have any problems, always feel free to email me and ask questions about tuning. I haven't inspected the US and European boards personally, so if there's any problems, let me know. I'll send you replacement parts, etc. That's about it, I think. So once again, thank you heaps for your patience. I think I've made a pretty cool product, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and that's why it's taken an extra 6 months. But I hope you're all very happy with it. Cheers.